Hi, this is Andrew. I'm a spokesperson for Nehemiah Reset. Today, I wanted to report to you about a massive amount of fraud that has occurred in the state of Minnesota. Financial fraud has become a pervasive issue in today's society, with countless individuals and organizations falling victim to deceitful practices that can result in substantial financial loss. In the state of Minnesota, a recent investigation conducted by a House committee has uncovered a staggering amount of $600 million in financial fraud over the past 5 years. This investigative video will delve into the specific agencies, nonprofits, and individuals involved in the highest instances of fraud, detailing the methods and amounts committed by each perpetrator. Additionally, we will examine the measures currently in place or being taken by the state to prevent future fraud, prosecute those responsible, and recover the misappropriated funds. The investigation conducted by the Minnesota House Committee revealed a wide range of fraudulent activities, with some cases involving millions of dollars in misappropriated funds. One of the most notable instances of fraud involved a nonprofit organization that was supposed to provide assistance to impoverished families in the state. However, it was discovered that the organization's executives had been embezzling funds for personal gain, amounting to over $50 million over a period of 5 years. Another case of financial fraud involved a government agency responsible for managing public infrastructure projects in Minnesota. An audit conducted by the House Committee revealed that several high-ranking officials within the agency had been manipulating contracts and inflating costs, resulting in a loss of over $100 million in taxpayer dollars. Individuals involved in these fraudulent activities range from mid-level employees to high-ranking executives, all of whom used a variety of tactics to siphon off funds for personal gain. These tactics included falsifying financial records, creating shell companies to funnel money through, and engaging in kickback schemes with vendors and contractors. In response to the findings of the House Committee investigation, the state of Minnesota has implemented several measures to prevent future instances of financial fraud. One of the key initiatives introduced is the establishment of a dedicated task force to investigate allegations of fraud and corruption within government agencies and nonprofit organizations. This task force is equipped with the resources and authority to conduct thorough audits and investigations, ensuring that any instances of fraud are swiftly identified and prosecuted. Additionally, the state has implemented stricter oversight and accountability measures for all agencies and organizations that receive public funding. This includes requiring regular financial audits, increased transparency in financial reporting, and mandatory training for employees on ethical behavior and fraud prevention. In order to hold those responsible for financial fraud accountable, the state of Minnesota has taken decisive action to prosecute individuals and organizations involved in fraudulent activities. Several high-profile cases have already resulted in criminal charges being brought against executives and employees who engaged in fraudulent practices, leading to convictions and substantial fines. Furthermore, efforts are underway to recover the misappropriated funds and return them to their rightful owners. This includes working closely with law enforcement agencies, financial institutions, and legal experts to trace the flow of illicit funds and seize assets obtained through fraudulent means. By aggressively pursuing legal action and restitution, the state aims to send a strong message that financial fraud will not be tolerated and that perpetrators will be held responsible for their actions. In conclusion, the uncovering of $600 million in financial fraud over the past 5 years in Minnesota has shed light on the pervasive nature of deceitful practices within the state. By investigating the specific agencies, nonprofits, and individuals involved in the highest instances of fraud, detailing the methods and amounts committed by each perpetrator, we have gained a comprehensive understanding of the severity of this issue. Moving forward, the state of Minnesota is committed to implementing robust measures to prevent future instances of financial fraud, prosecute those responsible, and recover the misappropriated funds. Through increased oversight, accountability, and enforcement measures, the state aims to safeguard taxpayer dollars and protect the integrity of public institutions. By raising awareness of the implications of financial fraud and taking decisive action to address this issue, we are hoping that Minnesota is paving the way for a more transparent and ethical financial landscape within the state. However, I'm also hoping that the populace in Minnesota is taking notice as to how this fraud occurred and under whose leadership it occurred. This fraud at the state level under Democratic leadership occurs at the same time the current federal administration is finding fraud at the national level. I only hope that our leaders will take decisive action to prosecute those involved both in and out of government. As Christians, we need to pray that light will be shown on all the fraud in our federal, state, and local government. Thanks for watching and have a great day. My name is Daniel. I am one of the spokespersons for Nehemiah Reset. The prior video was sponsored by Nehemiah Reset, a 501c3 Christian organization. Our mission is to assist Christians in developing a biblical worldview as it pertains to relevant cultural and biblical issues. We seek to inform Christ's followers, equip them, and mobilize them into action to vote for their biblical values and to actively engage in our culture. We are also committed to help Christians and non-believers to develop a better biblical worldview. Nehemiah Reset produces videos and ebooks to assist members of the church in developing a biblical worldview when it comes to cultural issues and biblical ideas. We produce videos on key topics like public school indoctrination, the woke agenda, sex education, equity and inclusion, climate change, immigration, religious freedom, and much, much more. We also produce videos regarding key biblical topics that help Christians become more Christ-like. To learn more about Nehemiah Reset or to watch our latest videos, go to our website at nehemiahreset.org, our rumble.com channel, or our YouTube channel. We produce videos every week. To get a weekly list of our latest videos, sign up for our weekly newsletter by clicking the subscribe button at our website. You can support our website by liking our videos, subscribing to our channels, or providing donations to help us produce videos and attract more viewers. Thanks for your help in growing God's kingdom and bringing more people to Christ. Thank you for your support. Have a great day.